We can, and it's a longsword +1, which means that it has a +1 to hit bonus and does 1 more damage than an ordinary longsword. Now, since this game is based on 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons, the way it works is that the game actually simulates rolling the dice like you would do in the pen and paper version of the game. So the game actually rolls an 8-sided die to determine your damage. In the case of this weapon, it rolls it once. So in this case, on an ordinary sword, whatever number you roll, that's how much damage you do, with of course your strength modifier and other things playing a role. Now in this case, this one, it'll actually add 1 to whatever that total is, so you can do a little more damage, and by the same token you have a little better chance to hit. But unfortunately, we don't have anyone that uses long swords. Minx can, but he's using a double-handed sword. Now I'd prefer to keep him with the double-handed sword because he doesn't have anything in his offhand, and the double-handed sword hits a lot harder. But I just gave him this sword just in case we encounter something that needs a magical weapon to hit it. There are some enemies out there that require magical weapons to hit. So yeah, I'm just going to give him that weapon just in case it's needed. And I also saw in there, in that thing that Imoen just opened, a scimitar and a shield. So I want to see what Jaheira's abilities to use those are, because what I'm thinking is that she can use the scimitar and the sword instead of, or yeah, the scimitar and the shield instead of her quarterstaff, because well, yeah, that way she won't do quite as much damage, but if we desperately need her to do damage, we can always use her shapeshifting ability. But with the shield, she'll also have a much better armor class, and so won't take as much damage, because as you can see, 69 versus 51. She doesn't have as much hit points as Minx does, so that means she needs a little bit better armor. So let's give her the scimitar and the shield, because looking at that character screen, you could see that she has the exact same ability to operate a scimitar versus a quarterstaff. So we'll give her that. And let's look at the effect on the AC. Yep, and you can see her armor class right here actually went down by 1 point. Now in 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, you normally want the armor class to be higher, because the higher the AC, the better protected you are. In this game, it's the exact opposite. The lower the AC, the better. So actually that AC of 1 is better than the AC she had of 2. Alright, so back to the game. Alright. Imoen, come over here and let's see if either of these 2 crates are trapped. I don't think they are. No, they're not. Alright, so, ooh, 4 arrows. You can use those with your bow. And a potion of healing and a flame arrow spell. So let's, first of all, let's give these 2 scrolls to Brutayale and see if he has these spells. Right magic, he has that, and he has that. Alright, what about you, Imoen? Do you have these? Right magic and right magic. Yeah, you didn't have either of them, but you do now. Alright, this is the 3 potions of extra healing. Let's go ahead and give these to Minx, so that, well, he can use them in combat. And throw this healing potion to Jaheira, just so she has something to heal herself, just in case she gets into trouble. And there we go. Alright, so now you can see too that I actually got some XP. 3,300 for each. Those were both level 3 spells. So you can see I actually got experience for those, for successfully memorizing them. Alright, so onward. Now I believe there is no other place for me to go except up this tunnel, but let's just make sure. Yeah, you can see that there's really no empty areas other than maybe down here. But yeah, let's go ahead and go up that tunnel, because it seems to be leading somewhere else, and of course our goal is to get out of here. So yeah, let's go. Ooh, a door. So let's see what's in this door. What's in here? Oh great, 2 golems. But they're not hostile. Lesser clay golem and lesser clay golem. Alright. Let's talk to them. The golem stares straight ahead. It does not appear to see or hear you. You suspect that the golem is inactive. Alright, let's see what your buddy has to say here. This exact same thing. The golem stares straight ahead. It does not appear to see or hear you. You suspect that the golem is inactive. Okay. Okay then. Let's go ahead and continue on. Whoa! Hi there! Bunch of goblins. Kill these idiots! Charge! No, I don't want you up there, Brutayale. Get back! Get back! You get up there and fight. There. How are you shooting through that wall, Imoen? I'm not sure, but there. That didn't make any sense, you shooting straight through a wall. You must think that you're Superman or something. I don't know. Did Superman ever shoot through walls? Or do anything through walls? I don't know. Okay. Now, let's loot these guys. You can see it looks like at least a couple of these guys had some halfway decent stuff here with gold. Shut up. There's a spell or something here. It's a scroll of some kind anyway, and then these guys look like they both had arrows. You can kind of tell what their loot is or what it's likely to contain just by looking at the shapes that show up whenever it's on the ground on their corpses here. So let's see what they've got. Ooh, 15 gold. And I'm not gonna bother taking all these battle axes because they're pointless. Infravision, okay, well that's useless. And 7 gold and 1 gold and a bunch of battle axes. Alright, so all that stuff's useless. And what about this? Ooh, a bunch of arrows. Imoen can use those. What about this? Another bunch of arrows. So those are also useful for Imoen, but I'm not going to take the bows. Because I think Minsk is actually the only one who can use them, and I need him up front. At least use these big bows like this, composite longbows. I think Minx is the only one. And you give that to Brutayale. Here, you just try to scribe this. I know it's pointless, but it'll give us some XP at least. And there. Here. Equip what you can. Alright, so looks like it's either going up this hallway or go through this door. But I think we're gonna go through this. I think we're gonna go through this door just because, well, Brutayale doesn't know what is actually in here, and he's curious. So yeah, let's go through this door. Alrighty. Whoa, a guy in a jar, like what was in that other room.